welcome to this 15-minute yoga practice for hip pain. You're going to need one piece of equipment. It needs to be a strap or like a rubber band like this, or you can also use like a dog lead or like the towel off a bathrobe, or a long towel will work just fine. It's just for one stretch at the start. So if you don't have anything, don't worry. If you do, just pause the video, go grab it now. We're going to start off lying on our back, and you're going to pop whatever strap you have found around the middle arch of your left foot, or the arch of your left foot. We're going to start off just moving your knee into your chest and pushing your foot out nice and straight. And we're just going to go for 3 more of these. So just getting the hip to bend and the hip to straighten out, and we're also mobilizing our big sciatic nerve that runs through the back of our leg and supplies a lot of our hip muscles. Then keep the legs straight, and this time we're going to move from the foot or the ankle joint. You're going to point your foot away from you and then pull your foot back down towards you. We're going to go for 3 more of these, and you should feel a stretch when you pull the foot down towards your body through the back of the leg. Then keep the foot pulled down towards you, keep the knee straight, lengthen out your other leg like you're reaching your heel towards the end of the mat. And from here, we're going to sway the leg in the strap across our body and then sway it back and out to the side. As we sway the leg across our body, we'll feel a sharper stretch through the back of the leg, back of the thigh. It's important to keep the knee straight. You can imagine drawing a smiley face shape with the heel of your foot as it goes up and across, and then down, up and across. And last 2 of these. And then you're going to pop that foot out of the strap. You're going to keep your right leg straight, lengthen the left leg out beside it, and just give them a little rock or wobble from side to side. So just allow your hips to roll in and out. Then you're going to pick up the left foot, and we want to make sure when we're doing this next exercise that we keep a little curve in our lower back. I don't want your lower back to push down into the mat at any time. So you can keep your left hand under that curve in your lower back and keep your right hand on your hip. And then as you breathe in, bend your left knee into your chest as far as you can go without squishing that hand under your lower back. Open the left leg out to the side, and then think about your left heel. Reach your left heel down towards the end of the mat, like someone's pulling your heel away from you, creating length. And then at the very end, you're going to rotate from the hip, rotate the whole leg so that the toes and the kneecap point up to the ceiling, and rest the leg down if you need to. And we're going to go for 4 more of these, so 5 in total. So bring the knee into your chest. Do not flatten your lower back into that hand. Open the leg out to the side. And this right hand is going to make sure that your pelvis doesn't twist off to the side like this. And then push out through your heel all the way, and then rotate so the toes point up to the ceiling. Inhale to bend the knee into your chest. Open it out to the side. Keep reaching with your heel until you get to the end of the mat and the leg is real straight. And then rotate the entire leg so those toes point up. Going for 3 more, bring the knee into your chest, open it out to the side, press the leg all the way down towards the end of the mat, and then rotate the leg so the toes point up. Now, if your hip is tight, we got 2 more left, you might feel a clunk at the front of your hip when you straighten your leg out. I did when I practiced this before I did the video. It just means that you're a little bit tight around your hip flexor muscles. So if it's uncomfortable, stick to the exercise with the strap, or just do this one with smaller range of movement. And then we're going to swap over to the other side. So bring both knees up, give your hips a little wiggle side to side on the mat, making sure your pelvis is nice and free and you're not like bracing or holding anywhere. And then pop your right foot in the strap. Super simple. Bring your knee into your chest and then press the leg out straight, and just go for 3 more of these. If you feel any clicks or clunks, it's usually just tendons kind of snapping over joints as you move. It's usually no harm as long as it's not sore. If anything's sore, Just avoid the movement. So listen to your body. Straighten the leg out. Point your foot away and pull your foot down towards your body. And you're going to go for 4 more of these, guys. As you pull the foot down, you should feel a good old stretch through the back of the leg, calf, thigh area. Then we're going to keep the foot pulled down. You're going to check that that knee is straight. If it's not straight, lower your leg a little so you can straighten it. So check in on that. And then reach your left heel nice and long, like the left heel is being pulled away from your body. Now remember that smiley face we're going to draw with your heel as the right leg sways up and across your body, and then down, up and across to the other side. So as the leg sways across your body, you'll feel a sharp, nervy stretch. That's your sciatic nerve that we're mobilizing. And then as the leg goes out to the side, it'll be less of a nervy, sharp stretch, but you might feel a stretch in your hamstring or your inner thigh. And we're just going to go for 2 more of these. And you can always come back to these if your hip is a little bit too tight for this next exercise we're going to do. Pop your foot out of the strap, both legs straight. This time you're going to put your right hand under your lower back, and you should have a curve in that lower back. So it just should not be pushed down flat into the ground. We don't want that. And then left hand is going to go on your left hip just to make sure it stays resting down into the ground and it doesn't twist off as we do our stretch. Bring the right knee into your chest. Make sure your lower back does not squish that hand under your lower back. Open your right hip out to the side and then imagine pushing with your heel all the way down towards the end of the mat, as long as you can go. And then rotate that entire leg so the toes point up to the ceiling. We're going to go for 4 more like that. Open the leg out to the side and then reach the heel all the way down to the end of the mat. Rotate the leg so the toes point up. You can rest in between reps if your hip gets a little tired. Bring your knee up to your chest, open it out to the side and press all the way out. For a lot of people, these exercises might feel a little uncomfortable when you start them, or if you've done a lot of training or exercise and you're tight around your hips, they might feel a little hard. So feel free to leave them out and just keep doing that strap one if it's your first time doing this practice. And it does get easier. Last one. Reach the heel all the way down to the bottom and then rotate the legs so the toes point up. Bend both knees up, feet, heels in line with your sit bones or butt cheeks. And again, we're going to get our pelvis and hips and lower back in a good position. So oftentimes people tend to brace. So they tuck their bum in and push their back into the ground, and then their hips can't move very well. So place your hands on your pelvis and allow it to relax. So think about your pelvis almost rocking towards your feet. That creates a little dip or a curve in your lower back, which we want. And then bring your hands down to your hips, and we're going to push through your heels and open up through the front of the hips as you lift up into your bridge. Hands are on the hips, so again, quite low, and get your hands on your hips. And it's like you're folding at your hips and dropping your butt down to the ground. Push through the heels, the hips open up as you lift up. And then you fold at the hips to lower down. You'll feel your tailbone touch the ground first. So I don't want you pushing your lower back into the ground. Think tailbone going down first. And we're going to go for 6 more of these here. And this is just teaching us to move through our hips and keep our lower back and our pelvis in a good position so that we can move through our hips and they're not all locked up. Keep your hands on your hips the whole time. Picture them opening as you lift up and folding as you lower down. And last 3. You should start to feel the muscles at the back of your bum, or in your bum or the back of your hips working. And then lower the hips to the ground. Take your right foot, place it on your left thigh, and use your hands to hug your left thigh into your chest. If you're really tight and you can't do that, grab a strap or whatever you were using and pop it around the back of your left thigh and hold on to that instead. So whatever suits you. And then you can use your right elbow to nudge your right thigh away a little bit, and you should increase the stretch. And then here, we're just going to have a gentle rock from left to right on our pelvis. As you're here, focus on your breathing in through your nose and out through your nose or mouth. You're going to be here for 3 more breath cycles. In through the nose, down deep into your belly, and then out through the nose or mouth. And then take that right foot down, place your left foot on your right thigh, and pull the thigh into your chest, whichever way works for you. So hands or use the strap again. Right foot's floppy and chilled. And again, have a little gentle rock from side to side. Focus on your breathing in through your nose and out through your nose or mouth. Try and get your breath down deep into your belly. And just 1 more breath cycle here. And then from this position, we're going to move into all fours, so onto our hands and knees. So get your hands underneath your shoulders and your knees underneath your hips. And we're going to inhale as you lift your tailbone up, lift your head and chest, and exhale as you round. 2 more rounds here. Inhaling to lift the tailbone, let the belly drop as you lift your gaze. And exhale as you arch your spine up towards the ceiling, head drops. Tuck your toes underneath, press into your hands, and lift your hips up and back. Keep a nice soft bend in your knees, and then from here, you're just going to pedal out. So press one heel down towards the floor as the other knee bends a little more. And then just keep that pedaling movement going. Think about your tailbone sticking up towards the ceiling. So it's not going to be tucked in, or your lower back isn't going to be rounded. You're going to be sticking your bum up. And then we're going to walk our way towards our hands. So see if you can plant your entire foot on the ground and then step your other foot in front. You might need to come onto your fingertips if you're a little tight like me. Keep a nice soft bend in your knees. Press your hands into your shins. Stick your tailbone up towards the ceiling as much as you can to get a better stretch in your hamstrings. And then inhale to lift your body up halfway and breathe out or exhale to fall down towards the ground. A breath in is going to take you all the way up into mountain pose and rotate the arms so the palms face forward. You're going to bring your hands to your hips now, and we're going to make sure that we've got our hips in a good position. So if you can imagine 2 lights shining out of your hips, they should be shining straight ahead. And it's very common when we have back pain that the lights tend to shine off to one side. And all that means is that one hip is sitting more forward than the other. So get your hands on your hips and make sure both of those lights, if they were shining out of your hips, are shining straight ahead. Then you're going to put all your weight into your left leg, and you're going to balance on your left leg. Keep your hands on your hips. You're going to pick the right foot up. You're going to open it out to the side, so very like the exercise we did on the floor. And then you're going to have your foot so that that heel is reaching all the way down to the ground. And then at the end, rotate the entire leg so that the toes point forward again. And we're going to repeat this 3 more times. So bring your knee up, open it out to the side. The whole time this left leg, left muscles are working to support you. Push your heel down to the ground and then rotate the entire leg. That rotation comes from your hip so the toes point forward again. 2 more to go. Push it all the way down. Rotate back in. On your last one, we're going to keep the leg up. So lift the leg up, rotate it out, and then place that foot either against your thigh or your shin or calf, or you can have your big toes on the floor. So whichever one you want, just don't push it against your knee joint. And then when you're here, we're going to balance. So we're working the muscles in the left leg to support us. Check that those hips are still facing forward. And then when you're ready, or if you want to challenge your balance more, take your hands up, palms facing forward and fingertips reaching up and out And you're here for 3 breath cycles. Try to breathe in through your nose, down deep into your belly. You can put a hand on it if you need to. And breathe out through your nose or mouth. And 2 more breath cycles here. Breathing in, think about that belly expanding. And as you breathe out, think about grounding or planting down through that left foot. And 1 more breath cycle. If you wobble, it's fine. And then relax that foot down. Fold forward to the ground. Stick your tailbone up in the air. Stick your butt up in the air. Press your hands into your shins and come up into a halfway lift. Fold all the way forward, get a stretch in the hamstrings again, and then come back up into your mountain pose. Palms face forward, and then palms of the hands go to your hips, or fingertips go to the hips, and check in and make sure that those hips are both pointing straight ahead, not turned off to the left or right. This time we're going to put all our weight in the right leg. So shift your weight to the right, pick up the left knee, open it out to the side, and then push it down to the ground. Turn the leg so the whole foot faces forward again. And we're going to do this 3 more times. And the whole time that we are moving, this right leg, right hip muscles are working to keep us nice and steady. You can keep checking in that that right hip does not jump forward into your hand. And last one, you're going to keep the leg up this time. And we're going to go into our tree pose. So pick wherever you want to put your foot, wherever's comfortable for you. So toes in the ground, calf, or thigh. And then from here, focus on pressing down into the ground with your right foot, standing nice and tall and keeping your hips facing forward. And then if it's comfortable for you, reach your arms out to the side and you're here for 3 breath cycles. Breathing in through your nose, down deep into your belly. And as you breathe out, focus your mind on grounding down into that right foot, your base of support. If it's too much, toes go to the floor. And then last time, you're going to fold forward to the ground, lift up halfway, pressing your hands back into your shins, and then fold forward. Come all the way up into your mountain pose. And last little stretch, you're going to have your feet nice and wide, toes and knees pointed out slightly. And we're going to lower our bum down towards the ground. Keep our heels on the ground. Go as far as you can with your heels on the ground. Reach your hands forward. And then bring your hands to the ground in front of you and lift your hips up towards the ceiling. So a good stretch for your hamstrings. You can keep the knees slightly bent and then come all the way back up into standing. Bum goes down, hands go forward. Hands go to the ground. Lift your hips up towards the ceiling and then round all the way up. We're going to do 2 more of these to finish. Hands go forward, bum goes down and back, as low as you can go with your heels flat on the ground. Hands towards the ground. Lift your hips up towards the ceiling, so straightening those knees a nice bit. Come all the way up, and you're on your last one. Hands go forward, bum goes back, helps you balance. Hands to the ground. Lift the hips up, and come all the way up. Well done, and you're all finished with your yoga practice for hip pain.